Hello my friends, welcome to Space Company Simulator. My name is Tobel. This is an early access game that is all about running your own space transportation company. So we get to become Elon Musk. We get to run SpaceX or Virgin Galactic and pretty much make it whatever we want it to be. I hope that this video is going to be helpful for those of you who are getting into the game. I've got a couple things I understand, but a lot of it is still I'm kind of learning along with you. So I'll treat this as more of a first look and maybe a little bit of a tutorial as we go along. So I hope to have some fun gameplay video for you. Let's jump right into it though. So for our company name, we're going to choose, what's something lofty? Let's go with something like New Horizons. That seems very forward looking, right? Also, the number of opponents and the difficulty we're going to keep on default settings of 3 and medium. Now, the motto on the right side there, this is, I thought it was a difficulty at first. It's actually not. It's kind of how your focus might be for your budget. So if you want to be more science heavy, more production heavy, take a look at the different options available to you. We're going to go with a balanced start and try to see how that affects us. Hello, Mr. Chairman. I am Anne. Hello, Anne. How are you? Nice to see you. I think we're going to say, let's skip the tour. I'm going to explain a couple things right off the bat. So if you have this game and you're a bit confused, it's kind of overwhelming. There's a lot of new symbols and whatnot. So the game, number one, does not have a pause. It will not proceed until you hit new turn in the bottom right-hand corner. Right now it says new mail. So we'd have to read the mail first. Of course, welcome to the show. Sebastian is actually going to warn us about foreign companies trying to spy on us. And then if we hit next turn, that's when the clock will actually move forward. But nothing happens until that point. So, well, hey, here we go. Take a look at our lovely compound. We've got some radar dishes here. We've got an assembly plant, research and development, administration, mission control. What else did I miss? HR and PR, right? So these are all the areas that you have built. If you click on this building in the upper left-hand corner, you'll engage the building mode. So this is all the stuff you could have. And I was happy to find this because I'm like, is this really all we're going to have the entire game? No, you actually can expand and go from there. So we have something for Mars, for example. There is a Mars or a lunar, here we go, moon program. We've got tourism university that's going to, I think, help increase the ability of your own workers. So tons of stuff that's actually kind of cool that you can build over time. Now, we already start out the game building a small launch pad. So that is pretty much good to go. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the rocket program. I'm going to go ahead and build the rocket program because we have the money. We got $40 million right now. So we have plenty of money. I'm actually going to rush the rocket program. Now what this does is allow us to build the space program satellites as well as new contracts, and we get to upgrade the PR department building. So I'm going to rush that. Construction is going to take 90 days. I think it's every turn. I think it's 5 days. If I believe, I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to double check on that. So there's a bunch of stuff across the top. These are the different departments in your company. So we have PR, HR, like we saw before. You'll see the corresponding things here on the left. So if we take a look at PR and we look at the perk points, you'll see this DP. I didn't understand what this meant. This is the departmental points, which is up here at the top. So every turn, each of these departments right now is generating 250 departmental points, except for science, which is a little bit more. So eventually you'll be able to spend them on these perks, which give you random things. Okay, so that makes a little bit of sense. So before we go too far, let's look at getting a manager for each of our departments. The managers will affect things, I think, like their performance and their finance management and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and grab, let's see, is there anyone who's really good at finance? Let's grab Haley Wilson here. She's going to become our finance manager. Is this, this might be localization thing. This actually might be a Polish company. Is that Polish? I'm not entirely sure. I hired her the wrong person. Let's see if I can change her. Unassigned. Oh, I can. Okay, fair enough. I meant to assign her to the finance department. There we go. Miss Haley Wilson, you're going to be the manager in charge of that. Let's go over to other areas. We'll grab... Hi. Is there anyone who's like extremely good overall? You can have someone just not be a specialist, so to speak. And I don't know, maybe they get their bonus to everyone across the board. Management leadership is high. We'll give Hugo here the lead for the science department. And then I'm just going to randomly kind of employ some other people. They're all relatively close together. And I've not really looked into what's super important yet for managers. I just think that it's important to have, if you look at that, now all the values, it was 250 per turn. Now they're way boosted. So having a manager does help you get more points as you go. All right, let's take a look at the science department. We want to take a look at this awesome tech tree. So we start out pretty much knowing nothing. We actually have, if we go over to our, let me close out of this. If we go over to our fabrication, our assembly plant, the depot is where you will actually order parts and also your rocket itself. So if I go into my assembly room, we know how to make the following rockets. Actually, I don't even think we can make the Zeus right now. We can only make this Wolf 3 rocket. Let's go back over to science and take a look at the tree. The little kind of dots that are connected here, this is like a component that you'll unlock. The text will tell you what, roughly what multi-staging does. Sometimes it's like a percentage boost to something. Oftentimes, for science at least, it just gives you an explanation of what multi-staging is. So, basic aviation, let's go ahead and queue that up. That's going to give us basic tank 1 through 3. Advanced aerodynamics looks like it's rocket. Grid. So we're really not going to be doing much for some time. Like, we have to spend a lot of effort in our research in order to unlock different things. And then as you go farther and farther out here, you're seeing things like spacesuits. We're going to see things, I believe, moon landing right there. Probably something about, space tourism. There's Mars. The final tree here is a Mars unmanned landing. So, pretty lofty goals down the road for our humble organization here. Ooh, it's so pretty at night too. So let's go to finance, because what I think I'd like to do is go into the budget. Now, here's where you saw everyone roughly as at here 70K for science. We're, of course, boosting up that sweet science goodness. I'm going to manually bump all of my other departments up. And at certain levels, you get perks, it looks like. So unlock additional access to 2 investors. I don't know if that automatically plugs in or not. Beyond that, though, I really don't know what the bonus is. You see how it's just kind of taking a lot. Oh, crap. I completely unfunded the department. I don't know what it gives you if you keep pumping that money up there. But I'm going to make sure every department, except for possibly production, because we don't really have anything to build right now. So let's keep production low, at least for a month or a couple weeks. We'll bump up finance, and we're going to bump up HR as well, because I think it's going to give us all increased. I think it gives you benefits across the board. So worker development speed, 3.3K funds for all other departments. I guess that's going to be kind of in their overall, whatever this happens to be, whatever this like value is, and maybe affect their efficiency. A lot of this I'm still testing out. You can take a loan as well, and you have a lot of information here. I would say it does well on the finance side of a management simulator. There's a lot of numbers to crunch if you're really, really into that. Finally, we'll check out some of these contracts. And the contracts are kind of nice because you can still do stuff even though we don't know how to make a rocket yet. There is, like, for example, I think there was one for me. Obtaining a foreign start. Here we go. One of the companies from the space industry is looking for a replacement launch platform because theirs went kapooey. So they're offering a high payment in exchange for using our Launchpad, which will be built in about a week. So I'm going to accept this contract, and we're also going to look at some of the other ones. This is just hire an additional specialist for a PR department. I don't know how to do that yet. If we go to PR, there is a second little, whatever you'd call this. I'm guessing this is a specialist, but I don't see it says, upgrade marketing 1 time. I don't know what that means. Does that mean just upgrading the perk? Or what? So I'm going to leave that contract alone for the moment. We also have something that says, like, hey, we're going to help you build your medium launch platform as well. So that would be lovely. I think we have to have the small before we build the medium. So we'll probably pick this one up as well. Procurement for 1 item, 1 component, the Yak fuel tank, which I believe we're about to unlock. This is going to take 274 days until this is kind of expired. So we're going to accept this now. And then next turn, we should be able to kind of do that mission. So I believe we've done everything we need to do in our first turn. Let's go ahead and skip forward a bit, and they'll give us any kind of information. We've got the building complete here, the small launch pad. That's a great honor, Mr. President. You do have like kind of special events every so often. The Chancellery of the President of our country has requested an official visit. It is to be part of the program promoting modern branches of industry. Lovely. Make all your workers proud. Everyone gets a 10 to their morale boost, which I believe kind of bumps your department efficiency up a little bit. Where did I see? Where did I see the efficiency tree? I think it was under finance and then budget. Here it is. So, yeah, so everything's up to a little bit like 60 or 66, which I'm guessing, you know, increases everything else across the board. Right, so I believe, did we not get our technological progress? We did. We did get basic aviation. So, as part of our contract, which was to build that, I don't quite remember it offhand. I think it was the donkey. No, it was the yak. So, I went into the depot, and under this icon here, it's kind of like, this is the stuff you could construct yourself. So, we're going to construct a yak. We're actually going to construct two, because one for us and then one for whatever this contract happens to be. So, that's probably going to take at least a day. And if we go back to our contract list, there was one about the medium Launchpad. So this contract authority provides a vehicle of medium size, fully ready to fly. Oh, hang on. Is this, oh, they're looking for a medium Launchpad. Right. Well, contractor will only check the condition of the rocket and carry out the launch procedure. So they have a rocket of their own. They're just looking for our medium pad. We don't have one yet. So let's go under this co-financing the construction of the medium. So, ready to start building a medium launch platform, build London to meet the need arises. Cover half the construction cost. Absolutely. So, we're going to take that contract, go back into the building mode, and oh, why can't I build it? We need what? Oh, we have to have the discovery of multi-staging, and then we also have to have a medium assembly. Ruh-roh. To get medium assembly... why can't I build the medium assembly? Okay, so I'm in the production perk tree, and that's when I noticed there's some building symbols here. Testing center would be the testing center building itself, but farther down here is medium assembly. So we actually have to unlock medium assembly from the production perk tree, which is going to take a hot minute. So I'm a little concerned that I took this contract. I may have taken this a bit too early. The one that's supposed to let us help with the medium construction. That's okay. If we have to lose a contract, so be it. We'll just have a penalty of 2.5k or whatever it happens to be. Foreign start, by the way, we should be good to go with this mission. So, it says there's planning, make a key decision regarding execution of this contract. The rocket name is his test, apparently. Okay, Amerigo, I think, is theirs. Oh, that's right. So this is our rocket. This is the rocket they're providing, which has 64 out of the required, I'm guessing that's 64 out of 60. 60 meaning you probably need 60 delta V to break atmosphere. Delta V, by the way, is the calculation for thrust. They're going to use the small launcher. The most optimal flight launch is going to be on the 27th of the month. So we're going to go ahead and accept this. And I'm guessing somewhere down the road, we're going to have a launch in our future. All right, so we did learn basic propulsion. I mean, we are queuing up for multi-staging, but at this point, I don't think it necessarily matters because we don't really have the ability to build that medium launch pad anyways, but we'll let this roll into medium staging. We're going to need an engine of some sort at some point, right? So where rocket tank? That's not necessarily an engine though. Here we go. Okay, so thrusters is what we need to get to, I believe, in order to design our own rocket. You know, I said earlier that it's not really like Kerbal Space Program. It does have some aspects of it, right? So it seems like contracts are going to be a big part of this game. So someone says, hey, we need to launch 3 of our satellites with you. And you're like, sure, that's fine. I'll use your payload on my rocket and I'll get your device up into space. So it sounds like contracts are going to be a big way to make money. Less so the science. Kerbal, you'd go out there and you'd have your Kerbin or your Kerbal go outside the ship and collect science. It doesn't seem like that's really an option, at least yet. But I do like it. I like the full-on management style of a space program. It's really cool. Right, there was our older message. Contract completed. That was the mission about giving them a fuel tank, I believe. So let's see if there's any other fancy missions. By the way, we should have enough perk points now to start dumping some, we can start researching some things in the perk tree. So tour guide, it looks like we're going to get a 5% reward from finance missions. Sure, why not? It seems okay. At the end of the day, it lets you branch out and have some decisions, but it does feel like you're just throwing points in here and then, randomly coming to click a button. And I guess it makes sense. I wish there was like more of a benefit or something farther in the tree. So we're going to go great introduction, increase new worker morale by 10. We'll go with finance, which is going to be passionate, which gives us a 5% prestige gained by 10% when the average morale worker is about 50. Prestige is, let's see, what does it do? So after researching an appropriate level, you're going to get access to new lobbyists, which can be used to obtain new investors. Okay, got it. So that's going to be very important in the finance aspect. We are obviously sinking in money right now because my budget is very high for all my other departments. So let's make sure that, hey, why aren't you guys happy? I don't understand. Why is the PR department unhappy? Are you a bad person, sir? Are you a bad leader? Do we need to fire you and replace you? Okay, science-wise, we're almost done with multi-staging, so that should be relatively soon. Also, I think we're going to have a rocket launch in this next turn. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Preparations for launch are completed. Do you want to see the launch? Yes, take me to the observation platform. Ooh, fancy. Okay, we have 36 seconds. There are 120,000 or so spectators. This is kind of cool that it adds this this little bit of information here. Because I mean, I've definitely watched a bunch of SpaceX's early launches, which is really flipping cool. I'd love it if we actually are able to kind of land our stuff back. Can I? I'm afraid to click on any buttons here. Oh, cool. We can, in fact, click on a various group of things. We have a full go. We have a full green list here. Go, no goes. We're all set. We have a full green from Capcom. Let's do it. Oh, there's a beautiful... Please don't blow up my freaking pad. Now, this is not our rocket. This is somebody else's rocket. There we go. Rocket is off the pad. We have takeoff. Tilting a little early. That's okay, I think, maybe. Got that, got that 5-degree turnover there with the Kerbal Space Program. Got to get your sideways momentum. Remember, you can't break orbit by going directly up. You have to accelerate outward or something. I don't know. Physics are hard, guys. This is actually really cool. I like this. This is kind of cool. Pad is looking... Look at that beautiful pad. KT-85C. KT-8, you are my favorite of all pads. Rocket is approaching 1,000 kilometers per hour. We're at 62 kilometers above ground level. It doesn't seem to be doing anything but hovering. I'm sure it's still working right. There we go. Booster engine cut off. I don't know if we actually have boosters yet. Main engine cut off. I don't know if it's actually doing any of the things that it's saying right here. Visually, it doesn't quite seem to have like we're actually this far up. Maybe it's just a test. It's a test to see how far we can go up into the atmosphere. All right, well, there does not seem to be a way to speed things up, and I don't necessarily want to watch the entire thing. Hey, guess what? We had a successful launch, and that's all that really matters. Did we actually finish? No, let's go ahead and do next turn. Loss of communication with the artificial satellite. Communication with the satellite in orbit has been lost. I guess we'll just wait and see how it develops. And then there we go. The contract was a success. Was artificial satellite, did that mean our rocket, or did they actually have a satellite payload? I'm sure it wasn't our fault, guys. I'm sure it wasn't. All right, so the research on our multi-staging is now completed. I don't know what the 80% check mark means. We finished the research. Like, for example, we finished basic aviation. We have these parts, but it says 80% check. I wonder if you start more research, do you get a better quality, or do you just do it better? There's some broken dots here, or a broken line to indicate maybe this is how much research you need to complete it. Oh, maybe it's a bonus research or something to make that aspect of your program even better. I'm not entirely sure. To be fair, I did skip the tutorial because, come on, who looks at a tutorial these days in games? Only smart people. Let's start researching the items required to get our own thrusters here. And taking a look at the contract, we've got production order. They want a Camel FT-12 to test it. We'll go ahead and accept that mission. Hire an additional specialist for the PR department. I'm still not quite sure I understand how to hire another specialist. Upgrade marketing one time. Right. How does one upgrade marketing one time? Is it like all the way at the end? No, not necessarily. Indeed, I'm not entirely sure how one does the upgrading of marketing one time. All right, well, it is still early in our overall gameplay, and I think I've covered a lot of stuff in this first video, so I'm going to wrap it up here. I will probably do a couple more episodes. I might skip forward a bit in time in order to show you some of the mid to late game stuff. I want to kind of see how it's like to grow and build our own rockets and stuff like that. So we'll get to that in another video. If you're a new visitor, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by. If you'd like to chat with us, I do have a Discord in the link below. It has a lovely community of nerds available at all times. If you enjoy this video as well, I would ask that you like and subscribe because it does help with Google Analytics and YouTube Analytics, so it does help bump a video to the top of the search list, so it does make a huge difference and whatnot. So feel free. Oh, there's the aliens in the distance. Oh, that's the sky rotating. Right. Thanks so much for joining me, you guys. I really appreciate you as always. I look forward to seeing you again as we take new horizons into new horizons.